It's another episode tonight, and tonight I want to talk about 10 ways to show that you are superb in bed. How do you get to know you're superb in bed? But before I start, I want to say a very big shout out to all content creators. Like, it took me forever to get to this point. I've been contemplating, when do I do this? When do I do this? When do I do this? And I'm like, you know what? Please, I'm not even doing any makeup. I'm not doing anything. I don't have the strength to do anything. I've been so busy. But then I have to shoot for my community. I need to say something. My community have been sending me DMs. Ireti, when is your next episode coming up? Would like to hear from you. And I'm like, you know what? Today, whether my makeup person is here or not, I'm going to do this. So, well, once in a while we show up like this and just be ourselves, and then just, you can see, I didn't even take my time to do anything. Anyways, family, tonight I want to talk about 10 ways to show that you are good in bed. You are superb in bed. Now, being good in bed is not just about, bragging or, just making mouth. Some people, they love to make mouth. You sit there just be blabbering, I'm good in bed. My penis is 10 inches. My this is this. My ass is big. Well, I want to tell you interesting tips tonight that can help you decipher where you belong. If you see that you're struggling to get to this point, then you should seek professional help and help yourself to become better at what you do. Now, when it comes to knowing how superb you are with sex, it doesn't revolve around just bragging. Some people brag and they brag right, to be honest. And some people brag and there's really nothing to show for it. So instead of bragging, instead of watching out for what the person has to say, bragging rights and all, why don't you just be smart enough to be able to tell if your partner is actually going to be superb in bed? And you can also check out those tips to know if you by yourself will be superb in bed, and adjust where necessary. Right? I said it the first time. Seek professional help where you think you need help. Now, number one, you should be able to talk about sex. You should be confident enough to be able to discuss your vulnerability with your partner. You should be confident enough to be able to talk about your fantasies, about what satisfies you, about your boundaries, about your adventures, your adventurous moments where you feel you need to spice things up. You should just be able to feel free to discuss sexual moments with your partner. The moment you find yourself doing this with ease, there is a high tendency that your partner or you yourself will be superb in bed. Why? Because the number one killer, right? The number one killer for sexual moods, the number one killer that would deprive you of that enjoyment, of that moment during sex, is when you lose your confidence. So if you are able to discuss sex with ease, then you are one step closer to becoming fantastic in bed. You appreciate the role of sexual communication before sex, even during sex, and even after sex. My number 2 tip here is you willing to try new things. You're open to trying new things. When you're open to trying new things, it means that you have no restrictions, or there's a limit to the number of restrictions that you have. Some people would tell you, no, don't touch me here. No, don't go there. No, don't do this to me. No, I don't want you to go there. No, I heard that this is bad. I heard that this is not for people like me. I heard that this, there's just too much of perspectives going around, and then it limits you to things you should be able to explore with an open mind. But when you have an open mind, you will be willing to go the extra mile with your partner. You will be going You will be willing to go the extra mile with your partner without necessarily thinking that, oh, you are going to be missing out on something, or your partner is going to be missing out on something. So, like I said, the number 2 tip here is you willing to try out new things. You're open to new fantasies, you're open to new adventures, you're open to new things. Everything that revolves around sex, as long as it is different from what you're used to. I mean, you're open to exploring those things with your partner. It means that you are going to be superb in bed. Your mind is free, right? Yeah. Number 3. If you are great in bed, if you're superb in bed, you won't be judgmental. Trust me. Like, you won't be quick to judge your partner. When your partner tells you, oh, I think I'd like to explore this. I think I'd like to do this. I think, there's just a lot of I think, there's just a lot of fantasy. You would never judge your partner. Being judgmental can tell that you have a high level of restriction. And remember, I told you, the moment you have too many restrictions, trust me, you're likely to be very boring in bed. And that's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have your boundaries, but then too much of everything, right? Too much of everything can be boring, okay? So being judgmental is a very big factor to know that you can't be superb in bed. So if you will be superb in bed, or if you want to know if you're likely to be superb or great in bed, or your partner, then it means that no one is going to be judgmental. Your partner is not judgmental. You are not judgmental. If your partner says, I would like to explore this, you're open to trying it out without judging yourselves. Do you get it? Yeah. Number 4. Respecting your partner's consent and boundaries. You personally, you respect consent and boundaries when it comes to sex. That's you being superb at what you do. Why? Because you know that to enjoy sex greatly, there's a need for consent. To enjoy sex greatly, there's the need to respect your partner's boundary. Let me give you an example. If you'll be exploring a BDSM, for example, you know BDSM comes with rules. There are rules here and there for you to enjoy a BDSM. Now, if you're going to enjoy a BDSM, there's the aspect of consent, there's the aspect of respect. If you played a BDSM with your partner and she says stop, or there's a rule to which you've been able to tell that, oh, when I say this, it means stop. And then your partner says stop, or whatever you've coined to mean stop. And then you respect your partner. You actually stop. When your partner says go on, you respect your partner. Now, aside role playing, right? Respecting your partner, respecting your partner's fantasies, respecting your partner's desires shows how great you can be in bed, right? Consent is very, very important. So you love to explore. You love to explore. You know your partner wants this or do not want that, but you understand the power of consent. You understand the power of asking, and you understand the power of your partner consenting to the act. So consent and boundaries go a long way in knowing how superb you are with sex. Number 5, this one is this one is for my shy ladies. You are comfortable with the lights on. Like, come on. Whether the lights are on or not, you're okay with it. You're not the team. Put the light off. Please put the light off. Oh, please put the light off. Oh, I don't want to. No, don't worry. I don't want to pull off my shirt. I don't want to pull off my gown. Come on. You have to be comfortable with the lights on. What are you hiding? Really? So if you are great in bed, you won't be shy to do these things. You won't be shy, right? To have your partner savor every part of your body, to see you in your full glory. So for you to be superb in bed, the lights on, team lights on, team lights on. Number 6 and number 7 tips, I'm going to be sharing them together here. Now, my number 6 tip, you don't try to copy others. Yes, You have to be sexually creative. I mean, your creativity is what sells you in bed with your lover. Don't get me wrong, I do not mean sell like sell, but it's like a business between you and your partner. How do you sell yourself? How do you market yourself in bed to your partner? How do you want to portray yourself for your partner to say, you are good, like my baby is hot, my wife is hot, or my husband is hot, he's good at what he does. You have to own your own creativity. You don't have to copy others. You don't have to copy what people do in porn, what you've watched somewhere. You're trying to imitate the exact that they do. You would mess up. Over time, it will be obvious that you were just you were not being yourself. You're just trying to be someone else, and then ashiri tutu atiri furadiye. What's that in English? We have seen the foul yansh. That is what is gonna happen. So you being yourself, you're not trying to copy anyone, you owning your own creativity. You know when you're in bed with your partner and there's always something new, there's always something different, there's always something fantastic that you bring to the table, that you bring to your game. There's a way you unleash in bed that drives your partner crazy. There's a way you unleash in bed that your partner knows that, yes, this is you and it cannot be someone else. That's how to tell how superb you are in bed. Number 8. How confident are you in bed? You have to be very, very confident. Your sexual confidence should be on another level for you to know that you are superb in bed. Now, what does it mean to be sexually confident? It means that you're not afraid to do some things. Yeah, you're not scared. You're not thinking twice to unleash your creativity. You know what you want. You know what to give. You know how to derive pleasure. You know how to give pleasure. You know the exact sensations to give. You know the exact stimulations to give. You just know the exact thing to do. You're not shy to ask for what you desire. You are not shy to give what you feel like giving. Do you get it? That is sexual confidence. How sexually confident are you to conclude that you are superb in bed? This is a major factor. Now let's go to tip number 9. Number 9. Oh, my dear ladies and gentlemen. Sex is generous. You have to be generous in bed. You have to be a giver. You'll be a taker, you'll be a giver. You'll be a receiver, you'll be a giver. That's how it's done. You have to understand the orientation behind mutual pleasure, right? Sex is not one-sided. So for you to be considered superb in bed, you understand the game. You are not only going to be taking, right? You take, you give. You receive, you give. You give, you take. That is it. As your partner is taking, you are receiving. As you are giving, your partner is also receiving. Do you get that kind of deal? That's how it goes. So for you to conclude that you are superb in bed, you better understand mutual pleasure. How well do you mutually pleasure yourselves in bed, right? The last but not the least, number 10. Number 10. For you to be considered superb in bed, you need to be able to adjust to anything. You have to be able to adjust. Now, let me tell you why. Sex is not constant. Our wants, our sexual wants and needs, right, are not constant. They change over time. So what am I trying to say here? What you were doing years back might be different to what you'll be doing later on. What your partner enjoys years back might be different to what your partner would be demanding for now. So what does that simply mean? It simply means that for every time there's anything new or there's anything you need to subtract, you have to be able to adjust. It's just as simple as that. You should be able to adjust and adapt to the situation of things as at the time, right? You should be able to adjust to your needs, to your desires. You should be willing to meet up with your partner's satisfaction And that is it. So that is all tonight on ways to know how superb you are in bed. I hope you learned something. Now go ponder on all those tips that I've shared and see where you are lacking. See where you need professional help. Remember that I'm always here to help you get right on track, to help you embrace yourself, to help you ignite that spark, that sexual spark that you need in your relationship, in your marriage. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time, another episode, and then hopefully maybe I would have done my makeup, because right now, goodness, whoo, see you some other time.